Alright guys, so the next chapter here, we're going to do the ECU D-plug pinout and the wiring for that. If you guys see in our board, we've now talked about our shifter box wiring. We'll check that guy off. We've talked about our ECT for the 1.7, and we've talked about our radiator fan switch. So now we're going to move on to the ECU D-series automatic transmission wiring. This side here. So that one there is one of the sides that you're going to need to get from the scrapyard, which was the ECU D-plug. Remember to get a long enough lead, and let's show you guys the wiring for that.
Here you go. I'll also be posting the picture at the end of the chapter. So,
alright guys, so this is pretty simple also. The colors on one side, the functions, and where to connect the colors. Alright. This is the D-series side. The D-pin side, or D-plug side. These ones here are all the ECU plugs. So you have connector A, which I showed you guys which ones were which. B connector, C connector, D connector. That's the one we're going to be working on right now. This guy right here. So all this wiring from 1 to 17 is literally here. 1 to 17. So all this stuff, let's go show you where to connect it. Alright guys, let's present it here on our really dirty floor mats. Yep, we drive this thing every day. Alright, let's get comfortable in here. It's a little tight. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the plug and identifying that plug. So the plug is going to be looking at the ECU. You got A, B, C, D. Little guy. That little guy is right here. So let's bring that. Can they see this right there?
oh yeah, they can see it right there.
All right. Slot number 1. How about there? Can you see it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we got it.
All right. So slot number 1, we have an empty slot. Slot number 1 empty. Number 2, we got the brown one. That's exactly what we have. We have a brown wire right here. So what's that gonna do? Function is for the S mode. So that guy is to our shifter box. So same thing as the shifter box, you should have these wires already wired up. Where does that brown wire go? Brown wire at shifter box plug down here. We have that one wired up already. Now the blue white, we have that one also wired up from previously. The white blue wire. What's the function? Shift up. Where do you connect it? To the white blue wire at the shifter box plug. We've done this already, so just going through it again. Now these are the new wires that we haven't touched yet. Number 4. We're gonna go to number 4. It's gonna be a black right here. A black with a white with a red stripe. Black with red stripe. It's the it's just an this is like a short form, but it's basically the automatic transmission park neutral position. All right, so that wire there, we're gonna splice wire to another red black on C101 plug pin number 2. So what a C101 plug looks like, this is the C101 plug, guys. This giant 20, I think it's 20 pins. Yeah, 20 pin plug. So this guy right here, that's what it's called, the C101 plug. This guy right here. So on the C101 plug, we'll also give you guys a diagram of the C101 plug and what it looks like. Just connect it. Let me go get the wiring diagram for that. Little ninja. This guy's been everywhere, man.
Yep.
All right, so this is what the C101 plug looks like. this is how you find the pins. So when I say splice wire to black red wire on the C101 plug, pin number 2. So you're gonna go to pin number 2 on it, which is gonna be that guy right there. Let's go find pin number 2. So what do we have here? We go on this side here. And what do we have? Pin number 2. Black.
With the red wire.
With the red wire. So if we follow it, see how I have it right here, spliced in. So the black, red wire, I have it spliced into it. So that wire here in the D plug is gonna go and splice into this guy right here. All right. Now the next one, white wire for the automatic parking / reverse. What number is that? Number 5. So if we go, we have number 5 on the 5th slot. There's the white wire. We follow that white wire, and we're gonna go and splice that white wire onto the C101 11 pin. So we'll find our 11th pin. Our 11th pin is gonna be just underneath number 1. So let's go find our number 1. Here's our number 1. 11th pin is gonna be right here. Here's our white wire. Let's go find it. And our white wire is spliced into it. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Is it clear or is
it's really clear.
Nice. Where's the lighting horrible?
I think they understand the circumstances being in a dark car.
Okay. So that's the white wire. We're gonna move on to the next one. The blue with the black stripe. This is the automatic transmission parking side of it. Same thing. We're gonna splice that wire, which is gonna be this guy right here. The next one. So the blue with the black wire, number 6, into the C101 number 1 pin. So number 1 pin, which one was it? The one above number 11, which is the blue. Here it is. See how it's spliced, connected right to it. That's it. We're gonna go to number 7. Number 7's an empty one. Empty. Number 8 is empty. Number 9 is gonna be a brown with a white wire. That's the shift down function. And that wire should have been wired already when you were doing the RSX shifter box plug wiring. All right, so that's where it connects to. We're gonna move to the next one, which is gonna be number 10. And that guy there is a red wire. So that red wire there, number 10, right here. The function for that guy there is the automatic transmission park drive. So it's what helps the ECU know that this guy here is now engaged in the drive function. All right. So that guy is gonna splice into a light blue wire on the C101 plug number 12. So if we have the C101 plug, number 12 is right next to a number 11, right? So if number 11 was the white one, 12 is gonna be the one right next to it. There it is, a light blue wire. So that light blue wire is gonna be spliced into that red. So you see the red spliced into that blue, light blue wire?
Yep.
That's it. So have it spliced in, and know the difference between a connection and a splice. A connection is wire to wire connected. A splice is the wire is still connected and a new wire is being spliced in to the existing 2 connections of wire. All right, that's what I mean about splice.
Like basically tapping into it.
Tapping into it, correct, yeah, tapping into it. If I say connect the wire, that means it was a loose wire to another loose wire connecting those 2 wires. All right?
Gotcha.
Number 11 is gonna be an empty one right after the red. And then next to that number 11 is slot number 12, and that's a blue and orange wire. That blue and orange wire I never connected And that reason why I never connected that, that's for the cruise control. We're not using cruise control ever on this car. So we never went ahead and connected that. So that's why I don't have any information on it. If you guys want to go ahead and connect it, I'm pretty sure you could wire it up.
But you would have to figure that one on your own because we didn't do that.
Yeah, like this vehicle here, we don't have the functions and stuff on the steering wheel, so that's why I never like cared about doing it, right? So
just in general, we never really cared for the cruise control. Like all our vehicles don't even have it.
No, your CRV still has it, no?
Yeah, the CRV is the only one that still has it, but that's going to be short-lived.
All right, so yeah, we don't connect that wire. That's the 12th wire, and then from 13 to 7, they're all empty, and that's exactly what we have here, all empty slots. So that's it. It's pretty simple on the D-plugs. Once you have that guy wired up, excuse me, you can go ahead and install that guy in the ECU. And now you have all the ECU plugs working.
Remember, without that plug, none of this will work.
That is correct. Without that plug, none of that stuff will work. The transmission will have no idea what the ECU is trying to tell the transmission or what the transmission is trying to tell the ECU. So you definitely need this plug.
We spent hours, guys, until we realized, yo, we got to do a trip to the local scrapyard and we need that plug. Because the D17 does not come with it.
We never had that plug. That was one of the plugs we never had originally. Along with, there was another plug that we had to get. The shifter box plug.
Yep.
We never had the shifter box plug. We got the shifter, and we totally forgot about the plug side of it.
Yep.
So we never got that. So those were the two wires we had to go and source out and find, and we got them. And like you guys know, it's working. Working great.
Like OEM, like a factory. That's the best part.
Yeah. All right, so after you guys have all that done, there was the C101 stuff, and now we're gonna talk about the C101. And this plug here, I would advise you guys to grab this plug also when you're at the scrapyard. I have extra of these plugs. Whenever I go to the scrapyard, I always cut them from cars that have been molested already. Because you always need this for all kinds of swaps. You always need the C101. It's used for, the wiring on the C101 is used for tons of stuff. And this is the basically connection from the engine harness. This is the engine harness side connected to the chassis side. So the chassis side, or the female side, and this is the male side. All right, C101. So go ahead and get get yourselves both sides.
Quick note, if you were doing a manual Kswap in the 7th Gen, you would buy the connection jumper harness from either K20 or hybrid, and that would solve a lot of the issues that you would need.
Yes, that is true. If you're doing the manual swaps, any of those manual swaps, any of those companies always provide the jumper harness, and it has the female and male side, and then it also is already properly wired for a primary O2 sensor. It's already properly wired for your fuel pump to come on, your grounds for the coil packs. Everything is completely wired already, so it's as simple as plug and plug when you buy one of those conversion harnesses. But nobody makes one for these automatic.
And we thought that the manual one would have worked. Yes. And essentially it worked where it got the fuel pump working, but that was about it.
It just had the fuel pump coming on, because originally Paul does state when he's showing you guys all the parts that he purchased in order to do this swap, he stated that he bought that jumper harness. And you don't need to purchase that jumper harness.
No.
You need to make your own. And that being said, you're saving money. You're saving money on not having to purchase that harness. Not having to purchase that harness, building your own, and this is the next chapter. the C101 chapter. Let's do this. All right, guys, so in the last part there that you guys saw, those last pictures that Paul put were all of the wiring for, or sorry, the ECU pinout for all the plugs. Plug A, B, C, D, and E. If you guys need that, there's all the pinouts and what the wires do. There's the descriptions there, like number 1, 2, all the way to whatever number each plug has. All right, now on to the next segment of the wiring. We're gonna do the C101 wiring, since we've been doing some of the, or since we've gone there already, and what now you guys know what the C101 plug looks like. So let's check this guy off. C101 plug. Let's go to our table down here. This here, there's a lot of wiring that needs to be done here, and why I was saying for you guys to grab 2 sides of the C101, there's going to be some of the wires that you're going to need to unlock and de-pin and move them around. So the wires, the way they're positioned inside the C101 plugs to the new, sorry, so let's say this is the EM1, or so not EM1, EM2 chassis harness. The engine harness side that's going to connect to this side aren't going to be matching with this colors. So you will have to open this harness up, and opening this harness, I don't know if you guys ever done it, but we're going to show you guys. There is a specific way of opening this guy. Let me go get a screwdriver. All right, now that I got some picks, in the link, you'll need one of these also. I should have put this in the list of parts. You'll need a de-pinning tool.
You guys can get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap.
They're pretty cheap. I have a bunch of them, from cheap ones to like Snap-on ones. Just get yourself a de-pinning tool. Make sure that it's a nice, pointy, sharp one. It needs to be, and make sure you have some sort of length, not the really, really stubby ones, because you won't be able to get inside to de-pin it. All right. Paul's gonna put in the description a link to the Amazon ones that we overlooked already, and we saw that they will actually work. So if you guys want to purchase it from the video, go ahead. This is your chance. Pick it up, guys. All right, so now the C101 plug. In order to get this to do any work on the C101 plug, this is how the plug looks like once it's locked and closed, and the other side can go in. You unclip it. Now to open it up, you're gonna see here, there's a little section here that you can open up. This one, that guy up right there, and there's another one here on the side. You go open that guy up. Once you have those 2 sides open up, you just push it and it'll lift. All right, don't break it. Don't be like other butchers that I've seen out there that just break this guy off. Let it sit. It just needs to chill like that. All right, so with that being opened, we can turn it around, and now there's going to be a little tiny tongue inside it. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, they see it.
There's a little tiny tongue inside there. So I want to take out, I'm going to try to take out this starter wire, this big, black, thick, white striped wire. All right, I want to take out this guy. Why I emphasize big, black, thick is because there's also another one here that's black with a white stripe. So know the difference.
But this one's thicker.
This one is a lot thicker. Know the difference, guys. All right, girth, needle dick.
Girth.
All right, so we're gonna try to take out the girthy one, since it's really, really
in there.
No, it's a lot simpler to try to get this guy. So we're gonna grab this guy here and we're gonna stick it inside there, and you're gonna just like lift it. Once you lift, you'll feel it. You'll lift it up and you can start pulling out.
And there you go. No damage.
No damage done. So I need to do that because some of these wires, or sorry, you'll need to do that also because some of these wires need to be repositioned. So originally, I don't know, let's say this one here was in slot number 6. I need to move it from slot number 6 to slot number 8. So I'm gonna move it over 2 slots. There you go. I can move it over to slot number 8. There it is. It's in there. It's not coming out. Once I have it moved over and I'm done, I can now put our lock mechanism back on. That's it. You hear a snap, and those wires ain't going anywhere. It's now locked. So in order to do this part of the wiring, you need to learn and be comfortable with opening the C101 clip and being able to move, or having the knowledge and the right tools in order to move some of these wires over to different slots. All right. With that being said, this is what wiring diagram. This is the one we did. I made this one to simplify it for you guys. This is what an OEM wiring diagram looks like when you have the manual from this vehicle. You guys will not understand that. Definitely not.
It's scary.
Yeah, it just looks like a bunch of words and what is what. You have no idea. So let's go ahead and read this guy here. So this is a C101 big gray plug. That's what a lot of guys know this plug as. The big bulky gray plug. It's a 20 pin, so there's 20 wires or 20 pins or 20 slots, whatever it is that you want to call it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the bottom, top row, there's also another 10. So that's why we call it a 20 pin C101. All right. There's multiple C101 plugs for different generations.
Yeah.
So there's generations from like EK C101s. There's generations prior,
EG,
all kinds. All right. Yep. So this here is the wiring diagram for the automatic C101 7th Gen RSX ES1 EM2 C101 plug. All right, guys. We're only going to use this schematic here for the positioning of the wire. So you know where number 1 goes, what it looks like, where number 2 is, all the way to number 20. All right? So the C101 big gray plug, there's the engine side harness of the plug. And then there is the ES1 or EM2 body side of the plug. All right, the body side looks like this guy. So it's the female side where it has the hole, and the male side, which is this side here, is going to plug into this guy here.
Gotcha.
All right, now let's go to the car. I can't show you guys on the table. I would love to. We have a lot more lighting here, but got to go back to the car and show you guys where all this gets wired up. Little guy. This guy's got to be somewhere all the time.
Yeah, he's just
he's just a nuisance. He's just everywhere. He just keeps popping up.
Yeah, he even comes for little drives with us.
Yeah, fuck off. He just doesn't want to stay up. All right, so the C101 side, guys. Engine harness side. Here, I'm gonna disconnect all this. It's a lot easier for our viewers here. Have you showed them what a demobilized ECU looks like?
No, I don't think I have.
All right, well, guys, this is what a demobilized ECU looks like. And this section right here is the demobilizer.
From K20.
All right. Our buddy Ralph helped out Paul and install this for him. And this here is what enables us to start this bad boy and operate this vehicle. So this is the demobilized ECU. This is what it looks like. That's the ECU code that we're using.
Yep.
PPA. So we don't need this right now. We're gonna talk about the C101 plug. All right, C101 plug. You got the ECU side of things. Sorry, not ECU. Engine harness side of things. I knew I was saying something with the engine harness side of things. So this is the engine harness. You have the C101 plug. You have your ECU plugs here. All right, so the male side, we'll call this, or actually it's stated here, the engine harness side, which looks like this. It's the male side because it goes inside the female. All right,
yep.
And this is the female side. All right, so the female side is going to be right here. Get out of my way, relay. We don't need this guy anymore. So the first one we're going to start with, and this side here on the engine harness side is the side that matters, because in order for this vehicle to work, everything that's happening in the engine side, so transmission, engine, the vehicle needs to know. So therefore, we're going to start with our engine side of the stuff. So our engine side of the stuff, looking at the plug, you're going to look at the plug from the wire side. So the wire side, you're going to have 1 to 20. So 1 to 20, and here it is, 1 to 20, and all of our colors. All right. The middle section is where to connect or splice, because some of these wires here are going to be connections and some of them are going to be splices. All right. So, and also on some of them, I state the function of what it does, or what those wires do. So let's start with number 1. Our number 1 is going to be a blue and a black wire. Splice to blue-black wire from the ECU D plug, pin number 6. So that guy there, number 1. If you remember, number 1, we have this done already, which is number 1 spliced into our D plug for the automatic stuff. So 1 is connected to the blue-black number 1 on the body side. Simple? Did you get that?
Got it.
All right. If you got it, then that means our viewers got it, because you have no understanding of wiring.
No, I don't.
So if you got it, awesome.
I've gained a better understanding of the wiring through the process of the swap.
Awesome. Okay, so number 2. Number 2, right? Right
Yep.
next to number 1. Number 2. Guys, pay attention to the wiring colors, because the wiring colors will change on us, even though, don't get cocky, all right? So look, number 2 here, we have a red with a black stripe, all right? Splice that red with the black stripe wire from ECU plug D, number 4, all right? That's the engine harness side. Now connecting to the body harness side, it changes. It's no longer red-black. It's actually the opposite. It's a black with a red stripe. So let's go to the ECU side. Number 2. Oh, there it is. Black with a red stripe. So that's why I'm saying it's crucial to pay attention to the colors of the wiring. All right, guys? So number 2, on the body side, it says that it's connected to the ECU D plug number 4, which was the wire we already previously spliced. So simple. Go to number 3. Number 3, the one next to number 2. It's a blue with a white stripe. I can't remember what that function was, and I didn't write it down, so sorry guys. I totally forgot about that one. But there's nothing that needs to be done there. There's no connecting, there's no splicing. That wire is already done. So let's go to the next one over. I mean, to that one there, number 3, which is the blue. If you guys can see it here.
Yep, right there.
Some of these wires are tight. The blue with the white. So the blue with the white, make sure it's in slot number 3. If it's not, you'll have to move it over to slot number 3. All right. So slot number 3, nothing description. It's gonna connect to a light green. So let's put it together. Let's go to our number 3. There it is. The light green. The light green. I cut it because I needed to figure out what it was doing, so we cut it. Right, Paul's breaking things. I cut it, and then I did a butt connector to connect the back, but you don't need to do any of that. I only did this so I could figure out what this wire was doing at that time when I was doing this. No need to cut it or anything like that, so it's just a straight, make sure that number 3 is connected to number 3. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4, it's empty. And that's exactly what we have. Number 4, empty. Number 5 next to it, empty. Right? 4, 5. 4, 5, empty, empty. Number 6, the one over the plug release. So number 6 is gonna be on our side of the engine harness side. It's gonna be a blue-yellow wire, which we have, a blue-yellow wire. So that blue-yellow wire, you're gonna actually have to cut this wire. All right, this wire comes from the ECU side. It's around here somewhere. See how it's the engine harness side. You see that blue, yellow?
It's just chopped off.
I chopped it because we're no longer going to be using that wire.
So it's another decommissioned wire.
Another decommissioned wire. I will tape this guy up afterwards. Haven't done it yet because I wanted to show you guys this wire. And what this blue-yellow wire is going to do, this is our VSS. So if we go look at our description, cut this wire. We'll need to connect to VSS blue-white wire from the ECU E pin number 25. So we're gonna go to pin number 25. I mean E plug and pin number 25. So our E plug is gonna look like this. It's a white one, and we're gonna go to pin number 25. You're gonna have to source it and find where pin number 25 is. I know where it is. It's gonna be this guy right here. And I'm gonna connect a blue-white wire. All right. Your 1.7 will not come with this wire. So you'll need to take that wire from the harness wires you guys grabbed from the scrapyard. So same thing, like I was saying earlier with the C101, there is a way of opening this plug up. If you guys have never done it, this is the locking mechanism. That's the locking mechanism right there, that little square. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to grab yourself a screwdriver, lift that guy up on one side, lift it here on this side, and until it pops out. Once it pops out like that, there is going to be a little tiny tab inside there. You'll have to stick your de-pinning tool inside it until you feel the tab. Once you feel the tab, lift, and you'll be able to pull out the wire. All right, so that extra wire of the blue and white wire is for the VSA, or sorry, VSS. Sorry, not VSA, VSS. The automatic cars do not come with that wire. So you'll have to put that in E-plug number 25, right? E-plug number 25. So E-plug number 25, blue-white wire. So that blue-white wire, after you've installed it in the E-plug, you'll have to wire it up to the yellow or the blue-yellow wire. The blue-yellow wire that I cut. All right? That blue-yellow wire now, if you follow it, that blue-yellow wire connects to, on the body side of the car, to a blue-white wire. So let's go find it. That was number 6. What do we have here?
Blue-white wire.
A blue-white wire. What this wire does it goes all the way through everything here, and it goes to the cluster, and it actually gives our speedo the reading that our transmission is transmitting. So that's what that wire does. Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, so the next one, number 7. Number 7, what do we got here on the engine harness side? It's a green wire. What does that green wire do? It's the fan control. So that fan control, we wired this one up earlier, which was that Mishimoto fan switch. That's what this wire is. All right, so make sure it's in number 7 slot, green wire. All right, let's go and read the function. This one here, I believe I didn't move this one around. This one was already in its right slot. So let's go to the body side of the C101 clip, and it's going to be a green with a white stripe. So what's it? Yeah, green with a white stripe. I wrote green light. Sorry, I have to rewrite that and put green with a white stripe. Yeah, so green with white stripe. Sorry, guys. Why did I write light green? All right, guys. My apologies. I fixed that up, and it's the green with the white stripe. So the green with the white stripe, slot number 7, which we have slot number 7. Number 8, which is the one next to it. Number 8, it is empty. So nothing to be done there. Number 9, it's going to be a on the engine harness side, it's going to be a black with a yellow stripe. So let's go find it. Number 9, what do we have there? Black with a yellow stripe. So the black with the yellow stripe is the CMP. All right, on the harness side, it's gonna be black with an orange. So number 9, black with an orange. Can you guys see it?
Oh yeah.
Black with an orange. What do we have here? Black with an orange, number 9. Beautiful. Let's move to our number 10. Our number 10, which is the last one, it's going to be a engine harness side, black with a white wire, and that's our O2 air fuel ratio sensor heater, the minus side of the sensor. So that guy is going to be connected to our opposite side, and our opposite side, I wired in a green wire, and that green wire leads all the way to our wiring harness that I made to the O2. I'll show you guys this, and I'll explain this afterwards in our O2 primary wiring schematic. All right, so that wire there, if you don't want to connect it right now, what the heck just happened there? Oh, it came loose. If you don't want to connect it right now, you don't need to connect it right now. You can leave it and just move on to the next one. The next one is going to be number 11, which is going to be the white wire. Number 11, underneath number 1, it's a white wire on the engine side. On the opposite side, it's going to be a white wire also. And what we need to do is we need to splice a white wire from the ECU plug D pin number 5. And that's what we have here. White wire here,
Nice.
spliced into it.
Beautiful.
So that's what you'll have to do. It's also another white wire. We'll move on to number 11. That was number 11. We'll move on to number 12. 12 is going to be a yellow wire. So the yellow wire, right there, on the engine harness side and on our body side, we're going to have, what do we have? Let's follow number 12. Spliced to red wire from ECU D plug pin number 10. And that guy there on the body side is going to be a light blue wire. So a light blue wire. What do we have here? a light blue wire.
Beautiful, boys.
And when I said here on the description, splice, where was that? Splice the red wire from the ECU D plug. Here's the red wire spliced into it. And that's the red wire that came from the D plug from the ECU side. So that red wire connects to that light blue wire. Number 12. Let's go ahead and move on to number 13. So number 13, just under number 3, number 13 is going to be a red with a yellow stripe. And that's also going to be an air fuel ratio sensor signal, minus. All right. So that sensor, that wire there on the ECU side, or I keep saying ECU, on the engine harness side, which is this one here. What do we have? Red, yellow. So let's find it. Here it is, our red, yellow. Right, so our red, yellow is now going to connect to, I wired this wire up. I put in a yellow red wire because that guy is also going to connect to our O2 harness that I made. Okay, so if you don't want to, if you want to leave this part out, you can leave this wire out and come back to it afterwards when you're doing the primary O2 wiring. Okay, boys and girls, we're gonna go to number 14. 14 is gonna be a yellow black on the engine harness side. So engine harness side, number 14, yellow black.
Right there.
Right here. There's 2 wires going into this slot, and I wrote that right here. 2 wires. And what those are for are the ground relays. All right. Connecting this harness to our body harness. Our body harness is only going to have on number 14 1 yellow black wire. So follow that yellow black wire. Follow the schematic here, number 14. Yellow black, 1 wire. 1 wire. And yeah, it just stays wired up to the 1 wire. Once again, I did this cut because I needed to figure out what it was. So you don't need to cut it, just leave it alone. Just make sure it's in the right slot. Next one, we're gonna move to number 15. Number 15 here on the engine side, what does it say? Number 15, it's a white wire. So connect to relay plug number 87 along with white wire to O2 sensor, air fuel ratio sensor heater plus. Okay, so what is it? We have here a white wire on the engine side, number 15, which is number 15. It's connected. And on our opposite side, we have a white wire. This white wire actually just came loose while we're playing around with all this stuff, and good thing it came loose. That wire there sounds a bit complicated, it really isn't. That wire there, along with these two, along with this other wire, there's 2 white wires.
Yep.
Okay. Why it states here, connect to relay plug. It's the relay plug for the primary O2 sensor. I haven't shown you guys yet what this is. So this is gonna come later on at when we're wiring up the primary O2 sensor. So this white wire for number 15 right now, you can leave loose. And you're gonna come back to it afterwards. Okay, so we're gonna move to number 16. Verse 16.
A black white.
A black white. It's the big thick black white. So the big thick black white, what do you have? The big thick black white is the starter wire. Big thick wire. That's what I wrote there. That big thick wire connects to the opposite side on the body harness side. Let's go see. What's there?
Black white wire.
Big thick black wire. So that guy has to be there. Make sure it's there. If it's there, perfect. We can move on to the next one. The next one is going to be the ECT side of stuff. So that's going to be number 17. Number 17 on the engine side. Number 17 is going to be a red with a white stripe. And here you have also red with a white stripe, 2 of them, 2 wires. So what do I have here? I have number 17, red with white stripe, ECT sensor, cluster gauge, 2 wires. That's the engine harness side. The OEM body side only has 1. And that's the one that's actually going to the cluster. This guy right here. Okay, so if you go and read it, it says red/white, 1 wire, number 17. Make sure it's there, number 17. All right. 18, yellow/red, oil pressure light. So engine harness side, number 18.
Right there, yellow and red.
Yellow and red. So that yellow and red, let's go ahead and connect it here. Number 18, what do we have there? Can you see it? A yellow-red.
Yes, sir.
So if you follow it, a yellow/red. All right. So it's straight. Make sure that yellow-red is connected in the 18th slot. Number 19. 19 on the engine harness side, it's a red wire. So that red wire is going to go to your air-fuel ratio sensor signal positive. This wire here, if you don't want to connect it right now because we haven't talked about it, you don't need to. You can just leave it. But on the engine harness side, it stays. It's this side here that needs to be wired up. So the next one over, I didn't have a red wire to put it in, to install a red wire here. So what I did was I just installed a yellow-green wire. So I left the yellow-green wire, and that's why it says yellow-green wire there. I installed it. I installed that, and what that guy does is it goes to, or it connects to our wiring harness in the O2. So once again, it's going to be explained in the primary
O2 sensor wiring.
Sensor wiring.
Perfect.
Yeah. Last one, the black white wire. So this is the Coil Grounds. It's a thin black white wire. So the last one, what do we have here?
Right there, the very last one, a very thin black white wire.
Yeah. So connect that guy. That's on the engine side. On the body side, thin black white.
Perfect.
Wire. That's it.
And that's for your coil grounds.
That's for your coil grounds. So for the C101 stuff, make sure all of those wires are in the correct slots or correct pinout, and you will have no problems with the vehicle. The car will start and it will drive.
Beautiful.
Even without the primary O2 sensor wired up. If you've gotten this far, you can actually go for a drive. Your fuel economy will be shit.
Yes.
But yeah,
It will
we're
be
almost
stationary.
there, guys.
Yep, almost there, man. It's a lot of wiring, guys. It's a lot of wiring. Like we told you, we were not going to leave nothing unturned. We wanted to make sure you guys knew exactly what you guys were getting yourselves into. Yes, it's a lot of wiring. If you guys feel overwhelmed and you have someone very good with wiring, like I have someone very good with wiring, make sure you get an assist. But guys, it's doable.
Yeah, show them this video.
Yep.
And they should be able to understand this. This is really, really simple. This is the simplest way of showing you guys on paper and exactly where the things are connected and spliced. Simple.
And I will be posting this at the very end of this chapter.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for the C101 stuff. We're done. We are going to move on to the next portion of the wiring, which is going to be the primary O2 sensor stuff. Let's do that.